talks, invited talks during the main session. And all this main session talks will be recorded by us, and we're trying to publish this as fast as possible if the speakers agree to publish this. The reason why we are recording this is because not everyone can join this conference on live, because some of them are coming from different time zones and not everyone can join online. So that's why we're trying to publish this, so that everyone can catch up with missed talks during the next 2.5 days, and hopefully we can watch as much talks as possible. And at the same time, I would like to also ask all the participants not recording this conference on your end, because we will need to sort out all this permissions and so on. So we'll try to help you watching these videos as soon as possible and as much as possible. So please please help us of this coordination. And also this Zoom conference, we're trying to keep this as interactive as possible, but we also need your cooperation not to disturb this conference. So please don't unmute yourself during the conference. And if we have some problems, we need to force muting you during the conference. Probably the most importantly, we are running this Discord channel in the background, just like in the last 2 years. And this system, Discord, is the chat interface. Everyone can join for free, and we can have different kind of channels for different kind of discussions. And please don't join this Discord discussions where we have a background discussion about the research, but also we will have a conference announcement and the other discussion for collaborations and so on. And we also have channels where you can ask for technical problems and helps. So, and I would also like to listen to your opinions about how we should organize this conference. So please join this Discord channel so that we can have a background discussions. And we also have Twitters and email accounts, so you can always reach us anytime if you need any assistance. Okay, and then in the next 2.5 days, we have many talks and many activities. We actually have almost no breaks in between, so we can enjoy as many talks and as many discussions possible in the next 2.5 days. And because there's so many people contributing this conference, a lot of things are changing on real time. Some speakers just canceled or need to change the time and so on. So the program might change dynamically, but hopefully we can keep updating our program at the Embodied Intelligence Workshop, the website, or we can update you with announcement in Discord. But generally speaking, we have lots of activities in the next 2.5 days, and I hope you can enjoy it. So each session, each day has two sessions, morning session and afternoon sessions. And each session starts with a welcome or summary of the previous sessions, so that anyone who missed the previous sessions can actually catch up with some of the important points in this conference. And then the session will follow by one plenary talks, and each session has one plenary speaker, as well as invited short speakers, followed by panel discussions. So these are the main part of conferences, and we have a very active discussion this time. And then during a lunch break or afternoon break, we have a breakout session. So by using Zoom interface, you should be able to join one of the two breakout sessions where we also have a number of contributed talks. and we'll hope to have some discussion over there as well. So please do join this breakout sessions in all of 3 days. Okay, and then there are lots of people in the background of this conference. So I'm chairing this conference, but there are quite a few significant contributors. Josie Hughes from EPFL, Veronica Garova, Arsen Abdrali, and Greg Sahatsky, who are helping with all the technical matters in the background. And we're here to help you as much as possible. So please do contact us through email or Discord channel. And also there are a number of assistants in the background from BioInspired Robotics Lab in Cambridge or Create Lab from EPFL. The students and co-workers are actually helping us actively in one way or the other in research discussions as well as technical issues. And please do contact us for any help and any suggestions. Okay, so otherwise, I would like to start a brief introduction of this conference. We want to start with a brief history, where we're coming from and where we are going. So this community of embodied intelligence actually started in the Dark Stool Castle workshop in 2003. Where we had a number of leading researchers around the world discuss on the topic of embodied artificial intelligence. So we just realized that this is just a 20 years anniversary this year, and we have a long-standing discussions on this topic. And then ever since, we have a similar conference in similar format every few years, and sometimes it's called morphological computation, sometimes it's called soft robotics, sometimes called embodied intelligence. But this field is very, very creative and dynamic, so that new ideas, new concepts come out from this community. So we changed the name, but we actually have a very similar people joining this conference every year. And in 2021, we started the international workshop Embodied Intelligence in the middle of pandemic period. And because this was so successful 2021, we started doing it annually ever since. And this is the actually third time organizing the CEI conference in the same format. And I'm very, very excited to continue with this community and how strong this community is and how creative this community is. And that's the actually driving force of this conference. So just to give you why we are doing it in the first place, right? So the reason we are organizing this conference is because I think embodied intelligence is such an important topic. Leading to many impactful research concepts and foundations and collaborations. And we have different views and different definitions of embodied intelligence, but this is a place we should actually discuss these matters from philosophical point of view or conceptual point of view, as well as technical point of view. So this is the kind of meeting place we can discuss all these matters embodied intelligence, regardless of your views and definitions. Our community is a very forward-looking community. So, we want to really highlight why we're doing embodied intelligence now and where we're going. So, the discussions and collaboration for the future is actually very important for this conference and community. And this conference is, of course, the main meeting point for lots of interdisciplinary researchers. So this is not only for roboticists, it's not only for biologists, it's not only for computer scientists, but we're trying to bridge the gap between all these disciplines and geological regions. And we want to build up a community by organizing this conference. And finally, we're also doing some output of these conferences. Most importantly, we publish in proceedings every year, which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. Also, this is going to be the foundation for the research discussions and future conference, future workshop and publications and so on. I hope throughout these activities, everyone can have fun in this event. So what is really an embodied intelligence, right? We actually don't do strict definitions of this field, but very roughly speaking, this community is those interested in understanding, discovering different aspects of biological systems. On the other hand, we're also interested in imitating or building, creating bio-inspired machines. And this is very rough definitions of what we think embodied intelligence is. And obviously, we want to have an interdisciplinary collaborations through natural science, social science, and engineering disciplines. So this is going to be the meeting point of biologists, neuroscientists, cognitive scientists, philosophers, social scientists, and then all other engineering and natural science disciplines. At the moment, we have a little bit bias to engineering, robotics, and the computer science speakers and community members, but we are actually actively taking actions to be inclusive of more people from different disciplines. So where we start this embodied intelligence, actually the starting point is 1950s, like when they started computer science and artificial intelligence. They have been thinking about what's the scientific foundation of the thinking process of humans and computers. And if you look at our adaptability and the intelligence, relying heavily on information processing in our brains and our nervous systems, the thinking process is actually very important for many biological systems. But on the other hand, if we put it in a physical context, right, in the real world, real physical world, we need to integrate this to environment through sensing and acting process. And this actually came to the concept of so-called sense, think, act cycle, or sense, think, act paradigm, which is also known as a good old-fashioned AI. It's called GO-FI. This was actually a very, very useful paradigm to structure what is the computation, to understand what is computation, what is the information processing, and so on. But obviously, this does not explain all of the different aspects of intelligence and adaptive behaviors in biological systems. And that's why we started extending this GO-FI paradigm to the so-called embodied intelligence paradigm. So this is the scheme we have published in a review article in Science Magazine 2007. The most important part is this blue box between the information processing and the task environment. So the body, the blue box basically represents how the body dynamics and morphology, physical entities of biological system plays a role in the context of adaptive intelligent behaviors. And the sensor system, mechanical systems are actually very important components that structure information processing in the brains or computers. And that is a kind of scheme we want to understand. And this actually, the blue box has a actually very important, very diverse mechanism. We can do fundamental research in intelligent adaptive systems. So how can we do the research on this embodiment? We have recently published a review article on the timescale aspects of embodied intelligence. So because embodiment has many different aspects and many different mechanisms, it's not easy to systematically analyze and investigate this embodiment. And that's why we started looking at what if we focus on the timescales of all this physical processes. So if you look at our body, this is the actual result many different kind of physical processes in the different time scales, and including nervous systems working in the milliseconds time scales, and then we have a protein folding or muscle activities, inertia movement. Then we have a growth process, developmental process, all the way to evolutions in the millions of years time scales. And embodied intelligence is actually the research field of looking at all the different aspects of all these physical processes contributing to how contributing to our cells, making intelligent and adaptive. And this is one aspect we want to discuss in this year conference. So I have invited some of the notable researchers from biology and computer science and brain scientists who can actually talk about this kind of topics. But of course, this is not limited to this particular topic of timescales. We want to discuss a much broader topic of embodied intelligence, and we want to hear from all the contributors in this conference. And in the end, we are also active in putting together how we can keep these discussions for the future generations by publishing videos, but also the proceedings. So one of the proceedings one of the conferences we did in 2021 finally published in the form of proceedings last year, and we included 26 open access papers. And please have a visit to the IOP website to see all the papers and to just have grasp the flavor of discussion we had in 2021 and what kind of things we are interested in, what kind of things we are discussing in this community. So this is a very interesting issue of interesting proceedings that include many different kind of topics. Just to give you a flavor here, we have many different topics related to perspectives and outlooks of embodied intelligence, soft robotics, or embodied intelligence in plant science and biomechanics, and so on. And then we have many robotics contributors wrote a paper in this issue, including aerial robots and underwater robots, robot manipulation, and imitating human organs and so on. And also there are quite a few principles and conceptual matters in embodied intelligence and robotics, such as morphological computation, mechanical sensing, human-robot orchestration, and also how the time perspective of the embodied the biological evolution can help designing robotic systems. And obviously, we have a lot of cognitive scientists, machine intelligence researchers talking about embodiment in dialogue, meta-brain models, active inference, and embodiment in mathematics, and so on. So as you can see here, the topics of embodied intelligence is really, really diverse, and a lot of people have bringing in broad, interesting concepts and the research projects ongoing. And this is a place we can also learn more intensely about what people are investigating. So we are currently in the final stage of finishing proceedings from last year, EI 2022. And hopefully we can publish in the next few months, and we can deliver this as an open access to every one of you. But also we have planning to set up another proceedings in this year. So please do think about what you can write, what you can contribute for during this conference toward deadline in October this year. Okay, and we're also organizing in-person event in case you are joining a RoboSoft conference in 2 weeks' time in Singapore. So we have a workshop on embodied intelligence and soft robotics, and we have list of impressive speakers for this conference to continue discussions on embodied intelligence in the context of soft robotics. And that's another venue we can continue with discussion. Okay, so this is the end of my introduction. And as I said earlier, please do join Discord channel, or you can join the Twitter to follow what's actually going on in this conference in the next 2.5 days. It's going to be very intensive 2.5 days, and I hope you can enjoy as much as possible. And if you have any questions, any problems, feel free to contact us, Discord. But also, we would like to hear your opinions about how we should organize this conference now and in the future. What is good? What needs to be improved? We are very interested in hearing your opinions about this conference. Okay, so if you have any questions or any points, please do post your questions in the Discord, or you can also put your questions in the chat window of a Zoom. But otherwise, I would like to start the main part of today's conference, day one.